Witnesses in Colombia observed the object gliding with purpose until it struck high-voltage power lines and dropped to the ground. How can a perfectly round metallic sphere with no wings, no seams, and no visible propulsion fly?
On March 11, 2025, a flawless metallic sphere crash-landed in Buga, Colombia. No damage, no seams, just strange symbols no linguist could identify.
What they recovered wasn't just unusual, it was unlike anything we've ever seen.
Then scientists used quantum AI, and everything changed. The symbols weren't random.
No one could confidently determine the meaning of the symbols on the sphere. An AI analysis couldn't find a match in the existing language databases.
They were equations tied to the structure of reality itself.
What is the Buga sphere, and who or what sent it?
What the AI uncovered inside this object may be the most unsettling discovery in modern science. The discovery. March 2, 2025, marked the moment everything changed for Buga. According to multiple eyewitness accounts, residents spotted the sphere during its descent around mid-morning. Several described it moving erratically before settling near farmland. A local farmer, identified in reports as Don Jose, became the sphere's first custodian after it landed close to his property. The initial encounter already hinted at strangeness. Observers noted the orb passed dangerously close to high-voltage power lines during descent, apparently causing sparks and minor damage to one section. When Don Jose approached it, the surface felt intensely cold. Comparisons to refrigerator temperatures surfaced immediately, but the real spectacle came when someone poured water across its metallic skin. The liquid vaporized on contact, sending up wisps of steam.
They show how the water appears to evaporate, even though it doesn't feel hot to the touch at all.
The sphere weighed approximately 4.5 pounds at first measurement, surprisingly light for its size and apparent density. News traveled fast. Mexican journalist and prominent UFO researcher Jaime Maussan personally flew to Colombia.
Maussan would even describe this as one of the most exciting trips of his life,
offering to transport the artifact to Mexico for detailed analysis. Meanwhile, Colombian authorities remained curiously quiet, neither confirming nor denying official involvement. Public reaction split immediately. Enthusiasts celebrated it as potentially the most credible physical evidence of non-human technology ever documented.
Once back in Mexico, this team would immediately start to research the object.
Skeptics urged caution, with physicist Julia Mossbridge suggesting it might simply be an elaborate art installation rather than anything extraterrestrial. The Jerusalem Post covered the story with measured restraint, emphasizing the need for rigorous scientific vetting before drawing conclusions. From that first day forward, the Buga sphere existed in a peculiar space, caught between wonder and doubt, mystery and method. The sphere's physical features. Examining the Buga sphere close-up revealed a fascinating complexity beneath its glossy surface. On top, strange symbols spiraled and carved in a language that, even after extensive analysis, no linguist could definitively decode. The surface was layered, with some parts smooth and polished, while others showed signs of intricate carvings and microscopic structures, tiny microspheres embedded within the material itself.
The microspheres do not appear to be placed in random patterns.
These microspheres, no larger than a grain of sand, appeared to be arranged in precise patterns, almost like a microcosm of a universe in miniature. Researchers hypothesized that they could be the remnants of a microscopic data storage system, a kind of alien motherboard encoded with information in a way humans might be only beginning to understand. The symbols, some resembling Sanskrit, others like complex mathematical formulas, seemed to serve as a language of sorts, an interface for communication that transcended mere inscription. What truly boggled the minds of scientists was the inner core, which seemed to contain a series of miniature spheres, microscopic worlds locked within the primary globe. These tiny worlds, whether natural or artificially created, might hold clues or even keys to understanding how the sphere manages to react and communicate. As researchers delved deeper into its composition, they realized that this was potentially one of the most technologically advanced artifacts ever encountered, an object which, despite its age, defied all known physical laws. Initial scientific investigations and theories. The sphere's arrival triggered an immediate research response, though the studies varied wildly in rigor and transparency. Radiologist José Luis Velázquez led early examinations, stating publicly that the object showed construction methods unlike anything in his professional experience. Non-destructive imaging provided the first detailed look inside. Beyond the microspheres and layered construction, scans revealed a network of voids and filament-like structures connecting various internal components. Researchers noted what appeared to be a central chip or processing unit, though its function remained purely speculative. Independent physicist Patrick Morsillo published theoretical papers suggesting the sphere exhibited negative mass effects. His measurements indicated apparent weight fluctuations of over 8 kilograms during analysis, numbers that conventional physics struggles to explain. Morsillo's model proposed that engineered internal structures generated localized distortions in spacetime geometry. Though this framework awaits broader scientific validation, temperature behavior added another layer of oddness. The sphere appeared to absorb ambient heat continuously.
The differences could be greater than 20 degrees Fahrenheit when the thermometer appeared to only move an inch or two,
maintaining its cold surface temperature while apparently dissipating energy at roughly 100 watts. This endothermic effect persisted without any visible power source, fuel reservoir, or exhaust mechanism. Some researchers propose that internal resinous material underwent radiocarbon dating, yielding an age of approximately 12,560 years, placing its origin around 10,500 BCE. If accurate, this would predate known metalworking civilizations by millennia, though independent confirmation of this dating remains elusive. Morsillo advanced additional theories connecting the sphere's glyphs to biochemical information, suggesting the symbols encoded a 24-amino acid peptide with properties relevant to consciousness or biological function. His unified physics framework attempted to explain all observed anomalies through a single mathematical structure, though mainstream physics communities have yet to engage substantially with these proposals. The role of quantum AI. Here's where the story takes its most dramatic turn. Reports emerged claiming that a quantum artificial intelligence system.
Today, we are venturing into the intriguing world of quantum AI,
referred to in various accounts as Chronos, successfully decoded information embedded within the sphere's structure and inscriptions. The quantum AI allegedly processed data from multiple sources simultaneously. The visual glyph patterns, internal resonance frequencies detected during scanning, and electromagnetic signatures emitted by the object under certain conditions. By correlating these disparate information streams, the system identified patterns that human analysts had missed entirely. The decoding process reportedly involved pattern matching across linguistic databases, spanning dozens of ancient writing systems, combined with mathematical analysis of the glyph's geometric properties. The AI identified recurring ratios and proportions within the symbol arrangements that corresponded to fundamental physical constants. Some accounts claim the quantum computer detected internal data bursts, brief electromagnetic pulses emanating from the sphere that carried structured information. The AI allegedly interpreted these as binary or wave-encoded signals, translating them into comprehensible formats. The most dramatic claim suggests that Chronos experienced catastrophic failure after completing its analysis, as if the complexity of the decoded information exceeded the system's processing architecture. Whether this represents genuine computational overload or narrative embellishment remains unclear, but it certainly adds theatrical weight to the story. What remains is to interpret its true meaning, and to decide whether humanity is ready to receive such cosmic wisdom. Decoding the universal language. What emerged from the quantum AI analysis reads like science fiction.
This fusion enables AI to tackle complex problems that are currently beyond the reach of conventional AI.
Yet multiple sources report consistent findings. The decoded information allegedly revealed fundamental physical constants embedded within the sphere's design, mathematical values that underpin the universe itself. Pi and Euler's number appeared encoded in the spacing and angular relationships between glyphs. Planck's constant surfaced in the resonance frequencies of the internal microspheres. The gravitational constant emerged from ratios between the sphere's layers. These weren't approximate values, but precise mathematical expressions, accurate to multiple decimal places. The AI also identified harmonic frequency patterns throughout the object's structure. When subjected to acoustic analysis, the sphere apparently resonated at 2.3 Hz, a frequency below human hearing but significant in geophysical and astronomical contexts. Additional harmonic nodes appeared at intervals, suggesting correlation with planetary orbital periods and stellar oscillation patterns. The glyph system operated on dual encoding layers. The visual symbols carried meaning through their shapes and arrangements, while their geometric properties encoded a second information stream readable only through frequency analysis. This redundancy suggested deliberate design, multiple pathways to the same information, insurance against decoding failure. Some analysts proposed that the 24 primary glyphs corresponded to amino acid sequences, with each symbol's morphology reflecting chemical properties like charge, hydrophobicity, and conformational flexibility. This biochemical interpretation remains speculative, but hints at information relevant to life itself, rather than merely abstract physics. The sphere's astonishing knowledge of physics beyond human understanding. The architecture of the sphere, revealed through imaging, surpasses current manufacturing capabilities in several key respects, creating a seamless metallic sphere with 3 distinct layers and internal microspheres would challenge even advanced aerospace engineering. The precision of microsphere placement, symmetric to fractions of a millimeter, suggests manufacturing tolerances beyond standard industrial capacity. The absence of any mechanical fasteners, adhesives, or joining techniques raises profound questions. Modern metallurgy knows several methods for creating seamless objects: casting, additive manufacturing, explosive forming. Yet none explain all the sphere's characteristics simultaneously. The multi-layer construction with different material properties per layer, combined with embedded microspheres and optical pathways, defies simple explanation. The internal microsphere arrangement suggests sophisticated understanding of mass distribution and gyroscopic principles. Their symmetric placement could optimize rotational stability or serve as inertial reference points for navigation systems. Some theorists propose they function as coupled oscillators, creating complex resonance patterns throughout the object's volume. The optical fiber materials threaded through the structure imply data transmission capabilities. If the microspheres connect via these optical pathways, the sphere effectively contains an internal communication network, a dark web of light signals passing information between nodes. The purpose of such a network remains mysterious, though possibilities range from distributed computing to sensor coordination. Functional anomalies accompany the structural mysteries. The sphere's interaction with its environment suggests active rather than passive behavior. The immediate vaporization of water poured on its surface indicates either extreme thermal conductivity or active energy manipulation. Reports of electronic interference near the sphere suggest electromagnetic field generation or modulation. Devices placed within several meters allegedly experienced malfunctions, signal disruption, or unexpected behavior. The optical fiber composition discovered in surface samples raises possibilities of internal light-based systems, photonic computing, optical data storage, or even holographic information encoding become plausible when fiber optic materials form part of the sphere's construction. Light traveling through these pathways could carry information or coordinate functions between the internal microspheres. The combination of thermal, electromagnetic, and optical anomalies suggests integrated functionality, multiple systems working in concert toward purposes we can only guess at. Whether these represent passive properties of exotic materials or active technological systems remains an open question that current analysis hasn't definitively answered. The sphere's relationship with vibrational phenomena opens fascinating interpretive possibilities. When exposed to specific acoustic frequencies, the object reportedly produced measurable responses. Changes in electromagnetic output, subtle surface temperature shifts, or altered resonance patterns in nearby materials. The internal microsphere arrangement may function as a tuned resonance system, with each sphere vibrating at specific frequencies that couple with neighbors to create complex harmonic patterns. This architecture resembles bell design or musical instrument construction, where multiple resonant elements combine to produce rich, layered tones. Some researchers noted correlations between the sphere's resonance frequencies and astronomical phenomena, planetary orbital periods, stellar oscillation modes, or even galactic rotation curves. Whether these correlations represent intentional design or pattern-seeking human minds finding connections in noise remains debatable. The glyph patterns may encode vibrational information directly, with their geometric shapes corresponding to waveforms or frequency spectra. This would make the sphere's surface a visual score, a written record of sound, vibration, and cosmic harmony rendered in geometric form. The chilling message: what the sphere's code really said. The decoded message, according to quantum AI analysis, contains several distinct chilling components.
What is quantum AI and why is it creating such a buzz in the tech community? Let's dive right in and unravel the mysteries of quantum AI.
The first addresses fundamental physics, confirming that the sphere's creators possessed deep understanding of universal constants and their relationships. This wasn't mere data storage, but a demonstration, proof of comprehension. The second component carried environmental implications. Patterns within the glyphs allegedly reference ecological balance, atmospheric composition, and biosphere stability. Some interpret this as warning or guidance, suggesting the sphere's creators understood planetary stewardship as fundamental to intelligent civilization. The third element proves most unsettling: references to consciousness itself. The biochemical encoding, if accurately interpreted, points toward understanding of how physical structures generate awareness. The 24 amino acid sequence may represent a molecular pathway relevant to cognition or sentience. Together, these components suggest a message both vast and intimate. Here are the universe's rules. Here's how to maintain your world. Here's the chemistry of thought itself. Whether this represents greeting, instruction manual, or warning remains open to interpretation. The message assumes recipients capable of understanding, a compliment and challenge simultaneously. The sphere as a living algorithm, concept and evidence. The more researchers studied the Buga sphere, the more it seemed less like a simple object and more like a living algorithm, a dynamic, self-regulating entity coded with rules that allowed it to interact with its environment intelligently. Unlike traditional machines that require external programming, this sphere appeared to operate with a kind of built-in life, processing information almost organically. Scientists compared its behavior to complex biological systems, but within a technological framework, reacting, adapting, and even learning from stimuli. Quantum simulations suggested the sphere's internal microspheres formed a network reminiscent of a neural lattice, with data flowing freely in fractal patterns. This living algorithm concept turned the sphere into a sort of quantum computer, where information processing, storage, and response occurred simultaneously, embedded within its very structure. Laboratory experiments quickly became the highlight of this saga. Researchers subjected the sphere to various stimuli, sound waves, electromagnetic fields, and even ancient chants. Each interaction yielded surprising, repeatable responses. When exposed to nearby Sanskrit mantras, traditionally believed to carry sacred vibrational qualities, the sphere emitted distinct resonance frequencies and changes in luminosity. This reaction sparked a lively scientific debate on whether the sphere was capable of understanding and reacting to human language, or whether it was simply attuned to the vibrational nature of sound. Further tests using electromagnetic pulses revealed the sphere could modulate its internal energy fields, essentially communicating through light and magnetism. It created patterns, sometimes harmonic, sometimes chaotic, suggesting a deliberate form of interaction rather than random noise. One of the most fascinating and controversial aspects of the Buga sphere's story is its reaction to Sanskrit mantras. Ancient chants like Om and Gayatri were played near the sphere, which then echoed back faint sound patterns and fluctuated in its electromagnetic pulse. Some saw in this an ancient cosmic connection, suggesting the sphere's creators embedded a universal vibrational code based on timeless human sounds. However, skeptics argued this might be coincidental resonance or even experimental artifact. Must sacred sounds truly hold cosmic keys, or was this a case of wishful interpretation? Nonetheless, the phenomenon added a layer of cultural and scientific intrigue, blending physics with spirituality in a dance as old as human curiosity itself. If the sphere's reactions weren't enough, its electromagnetic behavior stunned physicists. The three perfect concentric shells inside the sphere, separated by narrow gaps, generated a remarkable electromagnetic bubble. This bubble effectively bent light around the sphere, cloaking parts of it from detection. Such cloaking technology has been a subject of intense research for years, with labs like MIT and DARPA attempting to create metamaterials that can bend photons around objects, rendering them invisible. The Buga sphere's design, however, was decades ahead. Intensive simulations showed light didn't just bend, it spiraled and interfered in ways incomprehensible with modern materials science. Inside these shells floated 9 perfectly positioned microspheres that worked like photonic processors. Positioned according to mathematical constants like the golden ratio and Fibonacci sequence, these microspheres could resonate with any frequency, amplifying or dampening signals in a way that computationally processed light itself. In essence, this was quantum-level computing via electromagnetic waves, merging information processing and stealth. Implications for physics, technology, and our understanding of reality. The Buga sphere's emergence marked more than just another unexplained artifact. It potentially signals a turning point in how we understand material science itself. When radiologist José Luis Velázquez publicly declared the object showed absolutely no welds or joints, he wasn't making casual conversation. He was documenting something that challenges fundamental assumptions about how we build things. Consider what seamless, multi-layered construction at this scale actually means. Current manufacturing techniques, whether casting, forging, or additive processes, leave signatures. They leave traces. The sphere's 3 concentric layers with embedded microspheres suspended in perfect geometric harmony suggest fabrication methods operating on principles we haven't yet mastered or perhaps haven't even conceived. The technological implications ripple outward in fascinating directions. Those fiber optic materials threaded through the structure hint at photonic control systems far more sophisticated than current telecommunications technology. Imagine data transmission networks so miniaturized, so elegantly integrated into structural materials that the boundary between computing device and physical object dissolves completely. Energy management represents another frontier. The sphere's persistent cold temperature despite ambient conditions suggests thermal manipulation without conventional cooling systems. No compressors, no refrigerants, no moving parts whatsoever. Technologies that could harness similar principles might revolutionize everything from spacecraft design to medical equipment. But perhaps the deepest implication touches reality itself. The reported mass fluctuations, weight changes measured in kilograms, point toward interactions between matter and space-time geometry that standard physics treats as effectively impossible. If these measurements withstand rigorous verification, they don't just add footnotes to physics textbooks, they demand entirely new chapters. The scientific establishment's response to the Buga sphere reveals how contemporary science navigates the treacherous waters between curiosity and credibility. Major space agencies maintained deliberate silence through the initial media storm, neither endorsing extraordinary claims nor dismissing the artifact outright. This measured response reflects hard-earned wisdom. The scientific method demands verification before celebration, replication before revelation. When physicist Julia Mossbridge suggested the sphere might be an elaborate art project rather than alien technology, she wasn't being dismissive. She was being appropriately skeptical, holding the line between wonder and warranted conclusion. Mexican ufologist Jaime Maussan's involvement added complexity to the narrative. His track record includes controversial claims that mainstream science largely rejected, making institutional scientists understandably cautious about public association. Yet Maussan's network facilitated sample analysis and cross-border collaboration that might not have happened through purely academic channels. The tension between public engagement and scientific rigor became palpable during late May 2025, when investigative reports circulated worldwide. Universities found themselves caught between genuine scientific interest and concerns about reputation. The result? Quiet investigation behind closed doors while public statements remained carefully non-committal. What we're witnessing is science doing what science does best, maintaining standards while remaining open to evidence. The pathway forward requires accredited laboratories running isotope analyses, spectroscopy, and materials testing with full documentation. Only then can mainstream institutions move from intrigued observers to active participants in solving the mystery. The deep space signals, coordinates, and possible origins. Equally compelling were the deep space signals seemingly embedded within the sphere's code. Quantum AI analysis uncovered coordinates pointing far beyond our solar system, toward regions near known pulsars and even black hole collision points. The fractal sequences in the data bore uncanny resemblance to cosmic microwave background radiation patterns, as if the sphere was referencing the underlying blueprint of the universe. These coordinates are more than geographic markers. They hint at the sphere's origin or intended communication targets. Perhaps it is a probe, programmed to beacon signals back to its home, or signal other devices scattered across the cosmos. Some researchers speculate the sphere could be part of a cosmic network, an interstellar sentinel designed to monitor and transfer information across unimaginable distances. While the sphere's exact origin remains speculative, its coded messages offer humanity a tantalizing glimpse into a greater cosmic map, one that challenges Earth-centric perspectives and expands our horizons into the vastness of interstellar space. One of the most intriguing debates centers on the sphere's creators. Was it crafted by extraterrestrial intelligences, or could an advanced, forgotten human civilization have left these artifacts as cosmic breadcrumbs? The sphere's advanced quantum features and impossible materials suggest technology far surpassing current human capabilities, indicating a non-human origin. Yet some scientists propose a middle ground, that highly advanced civilizations from Earth's distant past, perhaps dating back tens of thousands of years, developed technologies so advanced they later became mythic or lost to time. These ancestors might have reached for the stars long before recorded history began. Alternatively, the sphere could be a message from an alien species, aware of humanity's evolutionary stage, waiting for us to decipher their cosmic invitation. Regardless, the sphere challenges our understanding of intelligence and civilization, pushing us to reconsider what forms of life and technology might exist throughout the cosmos. The sphere's influence on quantum computing and AI research. Unsurprisingly, the Buga sphere has profoundly influenced quantum computing and artificial intelligence research worldwide. Its internal architecture, especially the network of microspheres arranged in mathematically perfect patterns, is inspiring a new generation of quantum processors and data storage devices modeled after its design. The sphere's ability to process and transmit data through quantum entanglement and electromagnetic modulation is guiding AI developers to rethink conventional architectures. By mimicking the sphere's living algorithm qualities, dynamic, adaptive, and fractal-based, future quantum machines might solve problems once deemed impossible, from simulating complex biological systems to unraveling the deepest mysteries of the universe. Moreover, the sphere's coded messages have challenged AI systems themselves, causing logical paradoxes that push the limits of machine reasoning. Understanding and decoding the sphere is not just a scientific puzzle, but a catalyst for the next quantum leap in technology. Ethical and philosophical reflections. The sphere illuminates tensions between public curiosity and scientific responsibility that transcend this specific artifact. How should researchers balance transparency with rigor? When does sharing preliminary findings inspire productive collaboration, and when does it fuel misinformation? Public safety considerations add another dimension. Suppose the sphere contained biological agents, radioactive materials, or toxic compounds. Premature handling without proper protocols could endanger researchers and communities. The absence of reported hazards doesn't retroactively justify insufficient precautions. Communication ethics perhaps present the harshest challenges. Media coverage emphasizing alien origins and decoded warnings generates page views and engagement, but potentially misleads audiences about evidence quality. Scientists emphasizing uncertainty and calling for verification risk dismissal as closed-minded skeptics. Neither extreme serves truth effectively. The philosophical questions cut deeper still. If an artifact genuinely encodes communication from non-human intelligence, who decides how humanity responds? National governments, international bodies, scientific consensus, public referendum? The sphere potentially poses questions about representation and consent that our existing frameworks struggle to address. Consider also the precautionary principle. Should we actively seek to decode and respond to potential extraterrestrial messages? Or does prudence suggest observation without engagement until we understand implications more completely? These aren't questions with obvious answers, but rather ongoing ethical negotiations. The Buga sphere, regardless of ultimate origin, demonstrates our need for robust frameworks handling anomalous discoveries. We need protocols balancing investigation with caution, transparency with verification, public engagement with scientific standards. Building those frameworks now prepares us not just for this mystery, but for inevitable future encounters with the genuinely unknown. As we move through late 2025, the Buga sphere investigation enters a crucial phase where initial excitement must meet methodical verification. Multiple research groups pursue parallel investigations, each bringing different technical capabilities and theoretical frameworks to the puzzle. Independent preprints circulate through academic networks, proposing models for the sphere's anomalous behaviors. Patrick Morsillo's theoretical work on negative mass effects and topotemporal physics represents one strand of interpretation, attempting to mathematically account for reported weight fluctuations and thermal properties. These models await experimental confirmation, but provide frameworks for designing targeted tests. Laboratory work proceeds less publicly, but perhaps more consequentially. Accredited facilities reportedly conduct isotope ratio analysis, high-resolution elemental mapping, and structural characterization using techniques from materials science and planetary geology. These investigations generate the raw data that will eventually support or refute extraordinary claims. Rumors persist of additional spheres discovered in other regions, potentially forming a network or pattern of artifacts. However, documentation supporting these claims remains sparse. Without verified photographs, witness testimony, and preliminary analysis from additional objects, these reports function more as intriguing possibilities than established facts. The verification pathway ahead requires several key milestones. First, raw CT and SEM data files need public release with complete metadata documenting acquisition parameters and processing steps. Second, isotope analyses from multiple independent laboratories should converge on consistent results. Third, any claimed functional behaviors, responses to stimuli, electromagnetic emissions, thermal effects, must demonstrate reproducibility in controlled, double-blind experimental designs. The scientific community watches with interest, tempered by experience. History teaches that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, that premature conclusions damage credibility, and that patient verification ultimately serves truth better than hasty acceptance. The coming months will determine whether the Buga sphere transitions from provocative anomaly to documented breakthrough or resolves into more conventional explanation. Why the Buga sphere discovery will haunt and inspire us. The Buga sphere represents more than metal and mystery. It embodies humanity's eternal dance between knowing and wondering. Whether this artifact ultimately proves terrestrial or extraterrestrial, conventional or revolutionary, its emergence has already accomplished something remarkable. It reminded us that reality still holds surprises. The haunting quality stems from unresolved questions that resist easy answers. That seamless construction challenges our manufacturing assumptions. Those internal microspheres defy simple structural logic. The reported mass fluctuations, if verified, would demand rethinking fundamental physics, and the possibility, however remote, that we're holding technology from beyond Earth touches something primal in human consciousness. Yet the sphere inspires precisely because it demonstrates science at its best. Watch how researchers approach this mystery, not with credulous acceptance or dismissive rejection, but with methodical investigation. They scan, measure, analyze, document. They propose theories and design tests. They demand evidence while remaining open to wherever that evidence leads. This balance, skepticism and wonder held in productive tension, represents science's greatest gift to human understanding. We don't decide in advance what reality must be. We investigate what reality actually is, following evidence wherever it points, adjusting theories to match observations rather than distorting observations to preserve theories. The path forward remains clear, even if the destination stays uncertain. Secure remaining samples under documented chain of custody. Conduct comprehensive isotope and elemental analyses at multiple accredited laboratories. Publish raw instrument data for independent verification. Design reproducible experiments testing claimed anomalous behaviors. Submit findings to peer review by researchers with relevant expertise. This rigorous process might demystify the sphere, revealing terrestrial origins and conventional explanations for apparent anomalies. That outcome wouldn't diminish the investigation's value. Understanding how careful analysis resolves mysteries strengthens our ability to distinguish genuine breakthroughs from elaborate misunderstandings. Alternatively, rigorous investigation might confirm anomalies surviving every conventional explanation. That outcome would genuinely revolutionize our understanding, but the revolution would rest on solid evidence rather than speculation and hope. Either way, the Buga sphere has already secured its place in our collective story. It arrived when we needed reminding that the universe still holds mysteries, that careful investigation matters, and that maintaining wonder while demanding evidence isn't contradiction, but wisdom. The sphere will haunt us as long as questions remain unanswered. It will inspire us by demonstrating that pursuing answers through rigorous methods represents humanity at its finest.